Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, especially to political theory series. In this video, we will going to discuss John Locke theory of social contract. For more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now let us begin. Before we discuss the John Locke theory of social contract, let me ask a question. What is social contract theory? Social contract theory is a theory which says that the state originated due to a contract made by people. This idea was also supported by John Locke. Fact to be noted here is that John Locke was a 17th century philosopher who was contemporary of Thomas Hobbes, who was also the proponent of social contract theory. But unlike Thomas Hobbes, who championed the absolute sovereignty of the monarchy, John Locke exposed the cause of limited monarchy in England. We already discussed Thomas Hobbes' concept of social contract theory in previous video. Now let us discuss the John Locke concept of social contract theory. In John Locke's social contract theory, first comes a stage known as state of nature. According to John Locke, before the state was established, there was a condition known as state of nature. And that state of nature was pre-political and not pre-social condition. It means that in such a condition, there wasn't government, but people were social and sympathetic towards each other. So we can say that John Locke's theory of state of nature had four features. Firstly, man in the state of nature were rational, social and sympathetic towards each other. And secondly, state of nature was with peace and goodwill. And thirdly, men had freedom and equality but within the limits of reason and mutual respect. And fourthly, law of nature granted men certain natural rights like right to life, right to liberty, and right to property with corresponding obligations. From this discussion, it is clear that John Locke's idea on state of nature was ideal. But why then people decided to abandon such a lovely society? As an answer to such questions, John Locke said that there were three shortcomings of the state of nature. Firstly, the law of the nature were not clearly defined. Secondly, there was no executive force to enforce the decisions. And thirdly, there was no authority to settle the disputes between different individuals and groups, and becoming judge in their own case was against to the spirit of natural law or natural justice. Hence, Locke asserted that such condition was full of fear and continuous dangers. Locke also said that the state of nature was disturbed by the corruption and viciousness of degenerate men. There was the possibility of some men harming other men in pursuit of their self-interest. In order to escape from such condition and gain security, men decided to abandon the state of nature. Finally, they came together and signed two contracts. One is a social contract and another one is governmental contract. Firstly, let us talk about social contract. Hobbes said that man entered into a contract with one another for ensuring security in the state of nature and also to form a civil society. This contract was all with all, hence it was a social contract. With this, the state of nature was ended and civil society was born. In order to form a civil society, man surrendered certain rights and powers, but not all their natural rights. But the surrender of rights was not made to a monarch or to an assembly, but to the entire community. Locke thus recognized the sovereignty of the community of the people. This contract was thus meant to be a transfer of certain rights and powers in order to protect and preserve remaining rights. Now let us talk about the governmental contract of John Locke. In governmental contract, a government was established and a ruler was selected to remove the inconvenience of the state of nature, which led to the formation of a state. However, this contract was subordinated to the first contract, that is to the social contract. The government or the king was given power only to meet the challenges of the state of nature. In other words, government is just a mean to end. So here the end is important. Thus, the civil society was the product of the first contract, that is the social contract. And after the civil society was established, they came together and made second agreement and they created authority to enforce the decision. And the second agreement is governmental contract. If that authority acted against to the civil society, then the community or the civil society had the right to get rid of that government and set up another government. Thus, according to John Locke theory, community is superior to the government and social contract was superior to the governmental contract. Now let us look at John Locke classification of three types of power. John Locke recognized the existence of three powers in civil society or the state, that is legislative, executive and federal. He called the legislative power of the state or the Commonwealth as the supreme power of the Commonwealth. Because according to John Locke, it is through the legislative that is the will of the community is expressed. It was not sovereign. The idea of absolute and unlimited and inalienable sovereign power in any human hand did not find any place in the Locke's theory of social contract. He said that behind the supreme legislature stands the people, who are the final embodiment of power. And second power of civil society according to John Locke was executive power, which also possessed the judicial power, and legislative need not always in session, but executive must be in session. And another type of power according to John Locke was federal power or federative power. The power that made treaties and handled foreign policy or foreign affairs comes under the federative power. To evaluate his classification of powers, it becomes clear that Locke argued for the separation of power between legislature and executive. Hence, Locke is originator of the theory of separation of power, which was later extensively dealt by Montesquieu and adopted in the American Constitution. Totally, it is evident from John Locke's theory of social contract that Locke supported constitutional monarchy. In this system, government was in the hands of a monarch who has to rule well in constitutional manner, protecting the interests of the community and all. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you really liked my video, please give me thumbs up, and if you want to give any suggestions, put it in the comment section. If you want to add anything, please write it down in the comment section below. And thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos.